Hi, this is a short introduction to Ghostmaster, which is a set of solo rules for a very old game called Ghostbusters and Ghostbusters International. So this was a West End games kind of franchise, and it used the D6 system. So you have a target number, and then you add your D6 from your traits and a few more D6 from your talents, create a dice pool, throw them, and try and beat the target number. Very, very simple game. That was probably about its only rule. Um, Now, it was comedy and horror. If you remember the Ghostbusters movies, and with horror games, it's all about trying to scare the character, and if you scare the player, then that's just a bonus. Comedy RPGs are more about making the player laugh rather than the character, because you're often doing horrible things to the characters. Um, so, what I found when I was playing the Ghostbusters was that uh, the actual clinical yes no mechanics weren't really working. So I've done something slightly different with these rules. So it follows pretty much similar to most of my solo rules. If you got the same designer achieving the same end goal, just modifying it for each system, they're never going to be hugely different. But so yeah, you got some kind of preamble. Now I do introduce a D66 because dice pools are horrible for random tables because there's a real bell curve as soon as you've got a dice pool involved. Whereas most random tables you want an even distribution. So in place of the yes no question, you have which is a different improv technique called fortunately or unfortunately. And so when you would normally get a hard yes or no, what you're doing instead is saying, well, kind of fortunately, yes, no, fortunately this happens, or unfortunately that happens. It's still a two-way divide, but it's much softer. It's less clinical, yes, no. Um, and the other thing with the fortunately unfortunately is very, very narrative. You can never really just leave it like that. You have to instinctively add something else on to the end. Now the target number ranges I've taken here come from the universal how much system, which is the core rule of Ghostbusters and Ghostbusters International. um, so to start with, you are setting the target number on this same scale. Basically, the scale goes in steps of four. So 0 to 3, 4 to 8. Well, you can see it just over here. It's in steps of four, which is pretty much the average on 1d6. And most things in the Ghostbusters game are 3d6 or 6d6. Depending on whether you've got a talent, your trait, and your talent. But this could go up to sort of 10d6 or so. Um, so what I've done is I've taken 2, 6, 10 as kind of the averagey type things and rolling 3d6. So, rolling 3d6, your 50-50 chance is going to be, about 10, and then it goes up and down from there. If you roll above, then it's fortunate. If you roll below, it's unfortunate. And then again, using the same scale, um, you're adding orders of magnitude. How unfortunate is it, or how fortunate are you? And so it's the same scale: 0 to 3, 4 to 8, 9 to 13, and so on. So that's the core system. Now I'm using the D66 for the open questions. And here we've got a basic table, and it sprawls over there. And then I've created a more specialist table here. So if the brains of your outfit tells you that some piece of kit is broken, or you need to somehow build or modify a piece of kit, you can just kind of roll on this psychic kinetic energy technobabble table. And what you would do is you would roll your d66, so that would be 23. So telling you to boost. So let's have a look. So I'll do 52 there. Boost the phobic, so it's some kind of fear thing. Um, uh, and I'll do 54. Okay. Quark, so it's boost the phobic quark and 21 battery. So yeah, boost the phobic quark battery. So this is giving you kind of a fairly comic sort of piece of technobabble and sort of some kind of technical kit. And you can build these tables very, very easily, and you can build them incrementally. You can start off with just say a D6 worth in each column, and then it expands them over time. Uh, and I actually put at the back. There's a blank template for these tables in the back, and that everything else. Now, there's no actual game mechanics from this point on. It's more about building comedy RPG scenes. So and just basic solo advice. So three things is really important in here. Um, and all the brownie points. Some guidance on generating brownie points, which in Ghostbusters is a kind of meta currency. Um, and then turn taking, which is part of the uh, sort of the solo game cycle. And then clues because Ghostbusters is generally an investigative type of game. And then there you go. There's the D66 blank table, which you can then print off as many as you like and create custom tables to fit your game. So that's it. That's what you get. Thank you for watching.